Thank you. Sorry about that. I'm talking to myself. That's perfect. That's perfect. Alright, so thank God we got that sorted out before it went too long into the stream. But yeah, we have the 10-star event is finally here, guys. And we're looking at a fusion event. This heroic miracle. Yeah, my hair is it's been chopped off. Let's not focus on my hair though. Let's focus on the event. Which is really unique in the fact that if you summon 3 5-star heroes from any faction, well, I guess if you summon 3 5-star heroes from Dark, Fortress, Abyss, Forest, Shadow, or Light, you get, but it's weird how they have this worded, the Dark. I see, this seems like there's a lot of typos here, because I think that this is supposed to be Shadow, and then Dark would be the one you'd require 2 for. But, yeah, we're getting a lot of rewards, and this gear is insane. As well as this Awakened Glory. If you can make any 9-star hero, you get the best gear in the game. Or at least it was before this came out. I don't know if they've released anything. No, that's still the best gear. So right now they have the best gear available for this Awakening event. And you can also get exclusive orange artifacts if you're able to get a 10-star hero, which is pretty fucked. These guys here, they finally came out with them. We got Lutz is the first one. I'm gonna look at the material required to make a 9-star hero first, though. Let's just let's take a look. In order to get a hero to 10-star, you have to have 2 of the original. You have to have 1 6-star and 1 9-star as well. Like that's a crazy thing. But luckily the 9-star is pretty universal. Like the 9-star doesn't have to be of the same faction that the hero it comes from. It can be anything. But you do have to have 2 5-stars of the unit you're trying to level up and 1 6-star of the unit you're trying to level up. But you can get 1 9-star from any. Yeah, I think I actually can level up the Faceless. No, I don't have the 5-star Faceless. Damn. Not this time. I was actually gonna do it too, if it was possible, but I don't have the heroes. I should hover over Michelle. I'm not sure what you mean in the summon event, but if you complete all of these events as well, you do get a Michelle as well, which is awesome. Or actually, it says Mikhail. Okay, and that's actually something that you can see in her abilities as well. When you actually go check out her abilities, her last ability still says Redemption of Mikhail as well, so that's pretty funny. I actually hope they keep that there because it'll always be kind of like a nod back to the original name, but that's just me. Anyhow, let's get into actually looking at these heroes. And Lutz is the first one. It seems like they've gone pretty crazy with the HP, but the attack hasn't really scaled with it. I feel like HP is a little bit higher than attack right now, maybe because of the abilities. But this is like 144% against 4 random enemies, so that's pretty similar. But this is 100% chance to stun and bleed mage damages now. So Lutz has like 100% solidified himself as a mage counter. It's just absolutely off the charts with the with what he's doing here against mages. And he does an extra 55% damage for 3 rounds. And that's separate though, so I think that damage just lasts anyways. So that's amazing. Yeah, you can actually 9-star any or 7-star anybody now, and it won't truly be a waste because you can use them as a 9-star to level up a 10-star hero and not really feel like you've wasted much. His second ability, Weak Point, I don't think it increased too much, very similar. His third is very similar again, just a little bit more damage. And his fourth is, again, the same thing. I think they're mostly focusing on their abilities, like their ultimate is what's going to be really changing. Yes, the level cap is also raised to 250. That's what the 10-star heroes cap out at, is level 250. So that is going to be very expensive. I skipped Dominator too. Oh my god. I guess it's because we're not supposed to speak about about Dominator, but his ability does 164% damage, and it recovers his HP by 400% of the caster's attack and increases armor break by 20. I don't really think that this is going to change too much. He's a huge HP wall, though. Look at that, 900,000 HP static. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. He gains 75% of his HP when a hero dodges, when an enemy dodges, which is, again, not really amazing. And each attack heals himself for 48% of his attack. But this is when you're really going to start seeing this kind of ability just is total trash, like 100% garbage. Because look at it, he has 20,000 effective attack damage, but he has a fucking million HP. What is the point of healing for like half of 20,000 HP when you have a million of it? Like, that is so out of scale. They need to, that's just pointless. You might as well not even have this. Just throw this ability away. It's completely useless. Bade has less HP, but I think he has more armor than Dominator. Yeah, he has a little bit more armor. Oop, Thor, thank you very much for the follow. I'm kind of distracted here at the moment. But yeah, Bade has his ability is 260% against a single enemy, and reduces that enemy's attack by 30% for 2 rounds, with a 30% chance of dealing 420 extra damage. This is so strange, because I'm not sure if this actually makes him like a viable tank again, because, or not, I shouldn't say again, but finally, because this guy, when he pops off, might actually be very effective at shutting down like a very specific strong unit, because yeah, 420 blaze it, right? But look at the total damage here. We're talking 260 plus 420. That's 680% damage on top of like 22,000 attack, which is pretty high. Yeah, this is unofficial. This is not on private server yet. But that's an incredible amount of damage. Insane amount of damage. Like, it's only hitting one person, but it may be very good at taking out teams that have a specific like low HP unit. Like, this is the kind of stuff that would kill any team that's running like Kareem, for example. If you're trying to have that Kareem go crazy, this guy might just be able to stomp him out pretty quick. Same thing with like a Demon Hunter. He probably is not going to get his ability off before Demon Hunter, but he's going to shut down Demon Hunter from doing a second rotation. Again, I'm not sure if this is valuable to make a 10-star. Don't construe that. But it feels like this is a step in the right direction, at least for something like Bade. This actually feels like he might have a function now, whereas before he had no use whatsoever. Now he actually kind of feels like he might do something in a fight. This is just status. Gains 16.8 armor break and 14% crit with each attack. Now that's pretty good too. 14% crit is pretty low, but I mean, still. And a typical when below 50% health kind of thing. I probably won't spend much money because I don't really have the, I'm not in a position to be able to spend money on this game right now, but still. Aiden has almost 600,000 HP and almost 40,000 attack. His ability does 98% damage against all enemies and 100% chance of preventing soldier type. Did they actually change the name? No, it still says warrior. So this is, you can tell this patch was a little rushed on their end, even though it took them a lot longer than most people felt. They still end up rushing it because you see stuff like preventing soldier type. Like, what the fuck is a soldier type? It's most likely they mean warrior types, but still. And but that's, yeah, prevents the magic. And also increases the caster's attack by 20% for 3 rounds. So if Aiden does actually survive to do a second attack, his second attack is going to be stupid as fuck. Hey, thanks very much for the host, Mr. Nee Quinton. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. Hey, what's up? But yeah, so he's going to do his traditional just nonsense damage because of this ability where he scales as allies die. And I think they increased the armor break and attack a little bit with this, as well as the fact that he's going to get 20% extra attack. Peach Drink, thank you very much for the for the host, man. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, and they misspelled soldier, yeah. So Solider. It's actually not even soldier. It's just Solider. I looked right over it because I'm just trying to kind of get through this quick. Not too quick, but I want to do all the heroes in this stream, and I also want to make it like a YouTube video. Fall Time Low, thank you very much for the host. You guys are going crazy with the hosts. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's actually for solid type, so gelatinous enemies don't have to worry about Aiden, but anything that's made of like solid composure, you might want to watch out. So you're looking at like Honor Guard and shit like that. They're gonna get fucked. Hey, thanks very much for the compliments with the haircut too, guys. But yeah, so this guy is gonna be even more ridiculous now than he ever was, because the 20% attack scaling, the boost to this vulnerable ability. I think they gave him a little bit more attack here as well. Bold Fate, thank you very much for the host. NL Quentin, gotcha. Is that Netherlands or Newfoundland? But yeah, so we're looking at Aiden being a monster again. It's hard to tell if he's going to be better than Flamestrike. I haven't gotten to really overview her yet, but this is a really good step in the right direction for Aiden becoming relevant again. We have Karma, who is supporting these flaming balls of death. Not sure where that came from. I can't remember if they actually... Now, she never had that before, so that's like a completely new thing that she decided to add. But yeah, her ability does 156% attack against back row, has 35% chance of petrifying, which is great, and increases the caster's attack. So that might be seeming like where they're going with these kind of like caster-based shadow heroes, is that they're trying to, like, once they do their first ability, you really have to kill them before the second ability comes out, or they're going to be insanely powerful. Now, she still is a little slow. I think of course, you have to factor in her priest guild tech tree, which I didn't before, but even still, I think she might be still a little bit slow. They made it so this reduces dodge, but this still reduces dodge, which is not great. Increases her hit and her attack, which is... the attack is actually really good, because you look at... She has 47,000 attack, which is pretty crazy. And, again, the generic Shadow below 50% health increases attack by 100%. But that 100% is starting to get more and more ridiculous when you think about the fact that 100% just on her base stats is going to be putting her at around 100,000 damage. 100,000 attack just by itself. Then you have 100,000... times the 1.56% for this here bonus, and then whatever crit you might have, because I think priests do get crit in the tree. So she's starting to hit really, really strong, and it's starting to show. Field, I don't know if they did enough with him. 124% damage against 4 random units with 100% chance of stunning assassins. Manuel, thank you very much for the follow, guys. But yeah, he has a 100% chance to stun assassin types and deal 65% extra damage. But now I think that 65 is not tied to the assassin condition, so that means he's just going to be doing poison damage every turn. If you just started playing, it doesn't matter what server you join. Just play any server until you play for like maybe 3 or 4 days, and then join the private server. Just get the hang of the game in the original client, and then join the private server. If you're being serious about it, you can message me in Discord, and I'll help you out with that. His stun, his basic attacks have 60% chance to stun, which is really strong. Deals extra 75 or 95% damage against stun units. Really good. 34,000, just doubles essentially. And he has innate armor break for 40%, which is awesome. Now, I don't think he's still going to be relevant, because I think like 1426 compared to like... Yeah, he's still slower than assassins, so that's still problematic for Lutz. Of course, all of this is still tentative because we have no real data on how these 10 stars fight yet. So none of this is like set in stone that, oh, Field is garbage or Karma's garbage. None of that is true, and definitely not Bait is good. Don't jump to these conclusions just yet. I'm just looking at these statistics and seeing what I can come up with based on the current meta. but because this is such a big patch, that'll probably change. Alright, so with Walter, we have 220% against 2 enemies. I'm curious how much that actually went up. And it's only actually 30%, so he actually only gained 30%, but he did gain a lot of attack, of course. It went from 10,000 to 41,000, which is just astronomical. And so yeah, those bonuses adding together is going to be ridiculous. Deals 66% extra damage for 6 rounds with a 50% chance of stunning. That's where I'm starting to really like Walter, is that those stuns are starting to become really, really relevant. Yeah, exactly. All this is guesswork and opinion. This is all just speculation based off of what we currently know. But yeah, the 50% stun is beautiful, and then increases the caster's avoidance by 50%. Avoidance? Dodge, maybe? Holy fuck, is that strong, though. 50% dodge just right off the top? Excuse me, that's a lot of dodge. If you put a dodge gem and artifact on him, that's going to be stupid as fuck. It's going to be funny to see how Walter transitions. I feel that Walter might actually surpass Bloodblade when it comes to... yeah, I'm going to do these faction by faction. I'm just going to go through all of them. I'm going to do them one by one, and... yeah, I do have to go over every hero, because every hero is new. But yeah, so we have Walter with this 50% evade is just going to be nonsense. I'm really curious to see how this actually converts into the meta. He increases armor break by 40%. This is all pretty much the same. I don't think they changed too much about this. If they did, they tweaked the numbers a little bit. But the 50% dodge, that is ridiculous. I can't believe they were actually willing to do that. That's such a huge jump. 1 second there, guys. But yeah, hey, what's up, Mumble? But yeah, 50% extra dodge, just berserk. And for Shadow, we have Bloodblade. And Bloodblade is kind of a little bit underwhelming, I think. He has, of course, a shitload of HP, a shitload of damage, but it's 148% damage against random enemies and 46% extra for each 3 rounds. It does an extra 62% against rangers and recovers HP by 170% of the caster's attack. Now, I don't know exactly how that works. This reads a little bit weird. You can't Balrog emote? Try refreshing and it should be fine. But if this just means that if he hits a ranger, then that he's going to get this HP, this might be really, really, really strong. Yeah, 10 stars are released now. It's amazing. That's what this whole stream is about. Hey, thanks for the compliments again on the new hair too, by the way. I appreciate that. But if this just means that if he hits a ranger, he gains 170% of his attack as HP, that is gonna be insane. Holy shit, is that ever gonna be awesome. Not only is he gonna shit on rangers, but he might actually force rangers out of the meta a little bit, because that is gonna be a lot of HP that this guy is gonna be gaining every turn. Especially since rangers are kind of commonly being used as tanks right now. If you're sitting on an Ice Blink or a Queen as your tank, and he hits them with this ability, that's just 170% alone. That's not even including if you happen to have like a Demon Hunter in the back row as well. There's a pretty good chance he's going to hit one, maybe both of those heroes. And that's going to be a shitload of HP that this guy's going to be healing up. Especially because of his last ability, where as people die, he gains HP. And then as he's hitting them, they're going to be gaining HP. It's just ridiculous. His second ability, each attack 100% bleed the target. And he gains the armor break. I think that's pretty much the same. He does have low base HP, which is kind of surprising because I think he's 41. So he's a little bit higher than Walter, but yeah, it's the same as Lutz. But his HP was pretty high, 55,000 compared to... Yeah, he used to have a higher base HP, but now it's kind of bounced out a little bit. And I hope that that's actually what they're kind of doing with this, is they're kind of balancing out 10-star heroes because they know they don't have to worry too much about having like their their old guard fucked up and their money being screwed over because everyone's already bought these heroes anyway. But still, I think that even with his like moderate HP, I think that this much healing is going to be insane. And I just love those the fire weapons, the red theme. This is awesome. Not so much for the demon face, but the weapons are pretty cool. All right, so let's go right on to blue. Hazel, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that very much. So for Fortress, we're gonna be looking at Honor Guard, who has staggering amount of health and very high amount of armor as well. Now, I don't know if this is really going to be, like, fixing him, but it gives him 136% damage with a 30% chance of stunning back row enemies for 2 rounds. I think 30 is a little bit low, but now this says increases his caster's avoidance by 30%. If it turns out that that avoidance is dodge, which I assume it is, then this is actually going to be pretty strong because there is dodge already in the tech tree for warriors. They already get 15% here, so you're looking at 15% plus how much? I think it was 30% that he started with, so you're looking at 45% dodge, and that's pretty good. They're starting to really include dodge as a big factor for these units, and I'm curious how that's gonna move forward, because heroes like Rosa and Ormus are really gonna struggle against tanks like this, because they don't really have much way to get hit into their system. Armor plus 48, HP 40, crit. When taking crit damage, has a 100% chance to counterattack. I wish this wasn't crit damage. If this wasn't crit damage, Honor Guard might actually be a really good hero. But the fact that this is crit is just really unfortunate. And Blood Armor, this does not seem to fit him very well. This seems like the Shadow unit ability, and I don't know why they put it on him. But his armor will go through the roof when he's below 50% health, but I don't know how important that is. Ice Blink, the resident steroid user. Look at this guy. He's bulked out incredibly, and he's found Sierra's hood, if I'm not mistaken. Because that was like Sierra has always worn a hood like that as well. I guess he did too. They had similar clothes. But anyway, this guy's gone absolutely insane with the muscles. His ability is 148% damage against all enemies with 30% chance to freeze, so that's pretty similar, but this is the weird one. Receives an extra 30 points of energy. Now, I'm curious how many extra ability uses he's going to get because of that. I don't know if it's like a staggering amount, because it might be something that you need to kind of experiment with to be sure, but holy shit, is 30 energy allows him to do like every second attack, or say 2 out of 3 attacks as an ability. That is going to be ridiculous. We have to see it in practice, but it sounds pretty broken. 32% armor break and 40% attack. Even though his attack is only 30,000 compared to the rest of them, that's a little low. His HP isn't insane. Apex Tempest, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, but his HP isn't insane and his damage isn't insane, but I think that because of abilities like this, when he's attacked, he reduces the enemy's attack as well as increases his own, that he scales into the fight. And plus, if this energy bonus actually allows him to pump out like 2 of every 3 attacks being Ice Blade, that's savage, because there's going to be so much frozen heroes. And then, of course, 80% extra damage on frozen foes, which is just ridiculous. This is going to be so crazy. It depends on how this energy works. That's why, like, I'm not too confident in saying that some of these heroes are just broken, is because we really need to see how some of this stuff works in practice. Because with all this dodge and 30% extra energy, all these new mechanics that aren't really in the game right now, this could really well throw the meta for a loop. Oops, how did that happen? Anyway, Bleaker is the next hero. And his ability is 116% against all enemies with a 25% chance of stunning them. Like, why? Why 116 on top of 40,000 damage? Why? Why is that a thing? Why is that so low? What the hell is up with that? We aren't going to be seeing many of them, to be honest. Don't doubt yourself, man. We're going to see them all. soon every hero or everybody who plays this game is going to have a 10-star team. All it takes is time. But yeah, increases his attack by HP by 25 and 30% respectively. After he dies, he has 36% chance to stun the rear line targets by for 2 rounds. That's pretty good, but not amazing. And each attack has a 32% chance to stun. He's still really slow, and his damage is so shitty. Why? Bleaker so far looks like the worst hero to 10-star. Like this just feels not great. Yeah, as soon as this patch comes out to private server, I'll have a 10-star hero instantly. And actually, I wouldn't even say that Bade right now is actually looking pretty good. With that 30% chance to do the 420 blaze of damage, I mean, Jesus Christ, that's insane. Private server for PC? No, private server for Android or computer. But yeah, Bleaker got shafted. Just straight up fucked. Mirage has a pretty average HP and damage. He has 220% damage against 2 random enemies and deals 102% for each 4 rounds. Probably still not enough damage, though, is the problem. I feel like they didn't really try to boost up the easy heroes, so the heroes that are particularly easy to get probably are still not the strongest. Although I really do like the fire swords again. These fire katanas are just awesome. I wish he was a better hero because he looks pretty cool. I guess that's pretty lame or pretty cliche to say, but whatever. Opinions are opinions. Each attack has a 50% chance to bleed the target. 50% is pretty low, and 76% attack for 2 rounds is not the greatest. Dodge by 25%. I don't even think that's changed. And they didn't change this at all. Just 110% damage to the weakest unit. Why? Why is that? Why is that a thing? Why? They needed to change this. This is what makes these assassins the weakest of the pack, is the fucking ability named with that namesake. It's like they purposely made this ability something that holds back those who have it, and then named it the weakest of the pack. It's so perfectly ironic that it works out this way, but it's also very unfortunate if you are fans of these heroes or if you have these heroes, such as myself. Mickey, who just looks amazing. I love this entirely red suit. The kitsune mask, the eyes, the sword, the glowing kunai, just amazing. Her attack is a little low. Her HP is pretty high though, and her armor is pretty good. Does 162% against 4 random enemies. Now, 162 against 4 random. What was that before? 155 against frontline, and gaining 40% attack. And she's still, but instead of gaining 40% attack, now she poisons those enemies but she hits the back row now, as well as increases the caster's attack. So she does still get the 40% attack. Never mind. Okay, she still gets 40% attack, but also bleeds out those enemies that she hits and hits more enemies for more damage. This is amazing. This right now is awesome. I love what they did to Mickey, and when you click her, you can see this little like kind of crescent slash coming out of her weapon. That's just amazing. I really want to get Mickey to 9-star now. Can I actually do that? Do I have any capacity to do that? No, I don't have any Mickeys? I thought I had one. Do I not have any? I do not have any. What the fuck? I thought I could have swore I had a spare 5-star Mickey on this account. Anyway, though, that's not really neither here nor there. But they've made her do a lot more damage, as well as they've increased the dodge. The passive dodge is 25%, whereas it was only 20% before. And this is where it starts to get risky with Mickey again, because they're increasing her dodge. And whenever you increase Mickey's dodge, it becomes really, really problematic. She hits both frontline units as always, and she does good damage, and they're putting her dodge back up to a place where it's starting to get respectable. And there are dodge artifacts, dodge gems, and dodge in the tree. Plus the fact that she does good damage, I'm really, really feeling like Mickey might actually be making a little bit of a comeback. Now, whether or not they'll nerf her again, I have no idea. I certainly hope not, because I'm going to try and put some effort into making one. Definitely on the official server, maybe on the private, I don't know. But Damn, she's looking good. OD01. He looks like a giant helmet of some sort. Like, he doesn't even look like a monster. But he has monsters HP, I tell you that. 670,000 HP is just insane. 27,000 damage is a little bit low, but he's more of a tank mage. He's always been that way. He's supposed to be more of the frontline mage instead of the backline that kind of kills everything. His ability does 146% and has a 100% chance to stunning priests, which is awesome. And then also deals 160% extra damage on priests. So he's meant to counter kind of the current meta where you see a lot of priests and rangers. You see a lot of Rosa, you see a lot of Ormus, and even Karma is starting to come up a little bit, and he just shuts them down. Yeah, Rosa, Gurk is a little bit less common, but Michelle, no, Michelle's a ranger, right? Michelle should be a priest, but I think she's a ranger. I'm gonna check just to be sure. Yeah, she's a ranger. Okay, but yeah, there's a few heroes that are really fucked over by this guy, but I don't know if this is really enough. And I think that OD01 still has the same kind of problem that Field has, where it's like his abilities have great design and they could be impactful, but his speed, he's 1408. And you look at Rosa's speed is 1416, and that's before you even calculate the boost that he's getting from the tech tree. And I mean, plus the boost he's getting from that crazy hair. I mean, Jesus Christ. But, holy God. If this guy was faster, he'd be better. But I think that the speed really slows him down. And that's kind of unfortunate. But we'll see. We'll see. His attack reduces others' attack by 16%, which is nice. Not bad, but not great. Increases his skill damage by 95% and his HP by 50%. So the HP is coming from there. Skill damage is something you don't see intrinsically, though. So this essentially means that this ability is going to do closer to 300% damage. And, of course, even crazy amounts more to priests. Yeah, did I say that the speed really slows him down? If I said that, I guess that's kind of ridiculous, but you know what I mean. The speed slows down his ability to be effective. It kills his ability to do what he really needs to do. Yeah, exactly. And plus, if you're trying to make a rainbow aura, it's really hard to fit him in. However, if you are going redemption aura, or the one that allows you to go with 3 fortress and 3 forest, you might be able to find a way to fit him in as kind of a counter pick, but even still, it's pretty rare. And attack has an 80% chance to reduce the target's crit by 15% and increases his own attack by 25%. That's pretty high. That's ridiculous. Yeah, you could level him up as a counter. Very similar to Lutz, actually. I feel like OD01 and Lutz kind of fill the same role. But it's a lot harder to imagine putting up like a 10-star hero to use as a counter. I mean, it'd be awesome if you can pull that off. Then that's great. But that's super hard to imagine. But I mean, if you got the resources to do it, have at it. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, you could find a way to fit that in as a counter, right? If you have Flame Strike and Sigmund as a tank, you don't really need Ice Blink as well on top of that, right? It's still good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that those 3 heroes are not better than OD01, but I'm saying if you have a scenario where your opponent has a lot of priests, or you're up against a tower stage that has full of Gurks or something of that nature, you could definitely throw this guy in, and that would be effective. Alright, so now we're at Ormus, the collector of shit around his face. Look at this. This guy has like a crown. He has a monocle. He has a back collar. He has 2 side collars which each have 2 of these like belt things that don't attach to anything, or maybe they like attach to each other and he kind of like zips his face up and you can't see him as well. I don't know. This guy has a lot of shit going on. He has a bracelet, or like a circular amulet around his beard. There's a lot of shit going on around this guy's head. Anyway, his HP is pretty high, 58 or 580,000. His attack is pretty high as well, and his ability is 125% damage against 2 random back row enemies. The fact that it's still 2 random back row enemies is kind of shitty, but And it restores HP equals to 120% of the caster's attack to all allies for 3 rounds. And also has a 30% chance of restoring HP by 120% of the caster's attack. So I think that because it's 30% on 6 units, that's still a pretty good chance that 1 or 2 of those will proc every fight. But when all of them proc, like if you have a fight where 5 of 6 of your heroes get that 30% bonus, that is going to be savage. That is going to be super crazy. And that's amazing. That's amazing amount of heals that's coming out of this guy. His basic, his second ability is the same. I think it's attack has a 100% chance of healing. Heals 100% for 50% of his attack, and heals him for 50% and a random ally for 50% for 3 rounds, which is awesome. Just a basic stat buff, and then below 30% health, he heals all allies again. Can only be triggered once, but still does super crazy. Yeah, Idle Heroes is full of typos. Yeah, the typos are all over the place. I'm not even pointing most of them out unless they're crazy, like the Solidars one. The Solidars is great, because not only is it misspelt, like it's supposed to be soldiers, but they spelled it as Solidars, but it's not even supposed to be soldiers either. It's supposed to be fucking warriors. Like, there's no soldier class in this game. It's warriors. So everything is wrong about that, which is just ridiculous. And we have Emily, who is very similarly themed to Ormus. She looks a lot older now that she has all that white hair. She didn't seem that old in her previous iterations, but what are you going to do? Her HP is even higher than Ormus's, and her attack is a little bit low, but still pretty respectable. I guess 27,000 might actually be a little bit low for how I read what. Yeah, I probably just glanced right over it, honestly. But yeah, deals 116% damage against all enemies, reduces their hit by 20%. Now, this is hilarious. When you start looking at heroes like Emily and Mickey put on the same team, this one reducing the hit of all enemies and Mickey going crazy with dodge. Oh my god. And then there's that, I think the little the deer pet, the Bambi pet, or whatever you want to call it, also gets gives dodge to allies as well as heals them. There's gonna be some sick dodge teams coming up in the next little while. I'm calling it now. Dodge is gonna be busted for a little while once people start to get a few, like if you get an Emily and a Mickey and the Bambi pet on the same team and they stay alive for a little while, that's gonna be savage. And of course, it still increases the speed as well and the attack. Now I think that's new, right? I don't think she ever increased attack, and that's amazing. That's gonna be amazing. 20% attack, 30 speed, reduces the enemy's hit, and 116%. The damage is not really that great, but I mean, holy shit, this is gonna be insane. Okay, her second ability is pretty similar. Hey, what's up, Bloody 53? 40% HP, 50% speed. England is my city. Yeah, apparently so. Reaper, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate that. Basic attacks hit 3 enemies. And while below 50% HP, attack increases allies' attack by 29% and reduces the enemy's armor. So I think Emily is a lot better now. A lot better. And she's going to pair very well with Mickey. Very well with Mickey. 1 second there, guys. Got to get rid of this spammerino. Flame Strike, 10-star. She's getting older too. She has that white hair. VGM Wolf, thank you very much for the follow on YouTube. But yeah, she has that gray hair. Her character looks very similar, honestly. Not that much has changed. They actually gave her less cleavage, which is kind of surprising, but not bad. She has insane HP. 620,000 HP, 35,000 damage. Moderate armor, moderate speed. Her ability doesn't seem to have changed very much, except for the ending. It does the 116%, deals 45% extra damage, increases the caster's crit and attack, and this is ridiculous. 30% crit damage and 20% attack. This is very similar to the way Aiden works. Hey, Crossick, what's up, man? This is ridiculous. This is one of the... It's the same thing as Aiden, where if they get past the second round on this character, or the second round of attack, sorry, like the second round of ultimates, pardon, that is going to be ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous. And that's amazing for these kinds of mages. They're going to do so much damage. They already do, on very commonly, enough damage to kill the current setup for like 10-star heroes. Because some of these heroes only have 400 to 500,000 damage. And Flame Strikes and Aidens, under the right conditions, as 9 stars could do that damage. Now with them being at 10 star, plus having more base attack, plus having better abilities, and then having these scaling crit damage and attack percentages, holy shit, is this going to be madness. Holy god, that's going to be amazing, 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 amazing. Yeah, you will need Lutz to shut these kinds of heroes down. You really will. Immortal Ashes is just a slightly better version of the last passive, or the same passive with the same name that she had before, just scaling a little bit better. Same with Energy Draw, scaling a little bit better. And same with Storm Power, just a little bit more stats, more HP, more attack, more skill damage. It's just insane. She's just going to explode. She's just going to go crazy. She blows up, and everyone dies. Sigmund. Awesome looking armor. Serrano, thank you very much for the YouTube follow. I love this guy's armor now. This looks so badass. This not so much for the headpiece, like the thing on the top of his head, but I love the black, silver, and red armor. Yeah, it's just amazing. He has 690,000 HP, 28,000 attack. His ability is like a book. He has 156% damage against 3 random enemies, reduces their armor, and burns them. But now, that burn is pretty... It's weird how they, like, have the burn. Yeah, his armor. Yeah, his armor is 3,100 armor. Holy fucking armor on this guy. 3,100 armor. Stupid, stupid stuff. But yeah, his burn does 53 or 54% extra damage for 3 rounds. If the target is a warrior, it deals 86% 86% burning. Nonsense. And to warrior foes. So like they've said that like twice. This ability doesn't have to be this long in wording, but it is this way because they just said like warrior like 800 times and said burning like 900 times. If they cut out like the extra 800 burnings and 800 warriors, this would probably be like 2 sentences. Tons of damage here though, tons and tons of damage. Attack has a 100% chance to reduce the target's armor by 24%. Deals 45% damage per round and lasts for 4 rounds, and including self damage to the burning increases self damage to the burning target. I don't know what that means exactly. Could I ask them to do that? No, me and the devs probably will never talk again. I still have to make that video explaining all that bullshit. I still wouldn't mind talking to them, but I don't think that it's progressive at all. I'll explain that in the future. No, I even told them I actually have volunteered to work for these guys. Not for like the typo stuff, but for content creation and things like that, and they still couldn't get it together. But anyhow, increasing armor by 48%, attack by 20%, and HP by 30%. All right, man, Daily, if you make that call, I'll give you your due credit. Trust me, you'll get your just rewards if you can piece that together. And when attacked, this is what actually makes him insane. I think that people underestimate that. The rest of his abilities are pretty good, but this counterattack, when he's been attacked by an enemy whose armor is lower than self, again with the bullshit words, 3,100 armor, find me a hero that has more. I mean, good fucking luck, right? And he has a 100% chance to counterattack, dealing 180% attack damage. This is stupid, stupid stuff. They need to make this actually like a condition. It's like they tried to make it a condition of activation where it says 100% chance, but only if their armor is lower than Sigmund's. but everyone's armor is fucking lower than Sigmund's. So and why would they even put that there? Just that's throwaway condition. The condition doesn't even need to exist. But it does. I think they need to actually fix that condition and make it something that you can actually work around. Yeah, Gru when he steals it all might actually be a good answer to that question. But looking at it the way it is, most heroes are not going to have that much armor. Alright, so we're moving on to Abyss. And the first Abyss is Queen. And Queen has really pretty low HP. Her attack is pretty high. But one thing I noticed when I looked over this ability is that they changed the way it's worded a little bit. This deals 62% damage against all enemies and poisons them. Then it deals 82% extra damage for 3 rounds. Now, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't I didn't go back and check Margaret, sorry. Did I say Queen? Sorry about that, guys. This is clearly Margaret, and one day I'll learn how to read. And Savage Mommy, you should know I'm on crack. You sold it to me. But, anyway, Margaret. I think they actually lowered the damage on this account, or on this ability a little bit. If they didn't lower it, it's not much better. Because 62% plus 82 times 3, before, they actually used to have it so that it scaled each turn. But now it's not that way anymore. It's actually like just consistent 82%. Whereas before, if you check out Margaret before, it used to do 42 and then 60, but then it used to escalate 60% more damage each round. So it used to be 60 plus 60 plus 60 on top of itself. So 60, 120, 180. At least that's how I think it works. The new one doesn't have that kind of scaling. It's just flat. Now, if it turns out that the Margaret 6-star doesn't work like that, then I guess this doesn't matter. But it's kind of weird how they made it this way. And it doesn't seem as strong as it should be. Perhaps they noticed that she's kind of really dominant right now. Anyway, her first passive, very similar, 80% chance to poison the target. Nothing really notable. After death, poisons all enemies for 85%. I'm curious to see how much that was before. It was a 63, so that's actually a pretty substantial jump. That's over 25 or 20% extra damage. And then when she dies, she has a 62% chance to, or not when she dies, when she gets hit, she has a 60% chance to poison the target for 62% of her attack for 3 rounds. Now, this is still pretty low. I'm surprised that they actually haven't buffed her as much as it feels like the rest of them. It feels like Margaret kind of got a little shafted on this one. She's still going to be amazing. I think that she's still an amazing tank. But having the low attack, or the moderate attack, the low HP, and having her abilities not as bolstered as the rest of the cast is kind of surprising. We'll have to see how it pans out, of course. But I'm kind of a little weary about Margaret. And now on to actual Queen, who is I like the swords, I like the wings, I like the horns and stuff, the demon type theme, but her hair seems it seems really odd. I don't know why. It doesn't seem like it fits here. It doesn't seem like her hair fits this character anymore. It's almost like she has this kind of like this cutesy hairstyle on top of this like demon queen, which is just kind of weird. Anyhow, 45,000 attack just stands out amazingly. Yeah, her legs are really weird. I think I've pointed that out before, actually. Her legs, she has 2 knees, right? She has a knee, like, right above her ankle, and then it goes up to another knee, which is just really strange looking in the first place. But, yeah, 45,000 attack, though, which is just ridiculous. 45,000 attack. That's a lot of fucking attack. And then 54 or 540,000 HP, which is pretty good. Her ability deals 132% damage against all enemies, makes them bleed. I love how like blunt that is. It'll make you bleed. And that bleed is 45% damage for the next 3 rounds, which is awesome. That means that she's going to be doing that consistent damage even more so. Yeah, I actually really like... I like everything about Queen's design except for the hair. I think they need to make the hair a little bit more menacing, you know, more fitting of her type of character. Those are goat legs. They are goat legs, exactly. She's supposed to be some sort of ram goat thing, but it still looks really weird because she's standing bipedal, right? When you stand up on 2 legs like that and you have 2 knees on those legs, it just looks really weird. But anyway, she's going to do really good consistent damage with the bleeding, as well as the fact that she reduces their crit and crit damage. So not only is she lowering your crit chance, but when you do crit, you're going to be losing a percentage of that damage regardless. So that's just awesome. Eye for an eye, each attack grants you 20% crit now. I think they actually added that. I don't think she used to gain crit before. Oh no, she did gain crit before. I don't know, was it always that way? I feel like that might have been something they changed. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't remember her getting crit from that. But apparently she gains crit and she reduces crit. Queen's animation, very choppy. It's actually a little awkward. She pivots on that back knee. I guess that's the one true knee that actually works. The rest of them are probably all a scam. Please don't spam in the YouTube chat. But yeah, she gains a lot of crit. She reduces crit. Her attack plus 50%. That's where all that 45,000% attack is coming from, or 45,000 attack, not 45,000%. And when she hits, she has 100% chance to counterattack for 120% damage. Can't be dodged. Kevin Pollock's legs. Yeah, stop with the kicking, I guess. Yeah, she could kick you pretty good with fucking double knees. Yeah, you guys can spam in Twitch. It's just not YouTube. Don't spam in YouTube. If you want to spam and you're on YouTube right now, go to Twitch. Spam over there. But yeah, I don't think that her counterattack changed very much, but since her ability changed for the better, I think she's still going to be an amazing tank. Super powerful. Lord Balrog, who is, he's dropped the kind of red motif, gone back to the purple, because I think he was purple originally, right? No, he was always red, okay. He's gone to a more purple look. He's got a shitload of HP. And 20,000 attack's pretty low, but I mean, he has decent armor too, 2,100 armor. His ability does 320% damage against a single enemy, recovers his HP by 400% of that damage, and increases his attack by 150% for the next attack, which is just savage. Just ridiculous. And I don't think it's going to be enough, though, because it's only one target. His second ability reduces crit by 18%, so it's good, but and armor by 40, HP by 40, and he has the when below 30% health increases his armor by 120%. So I guess he's one of the few units, like if he's below 30% health and he attacks Sigmund, he might not actually get counterattacked by the stupid ability, the stupid counterattack. So that's one advantage, I guess, but not really a lot. Alright, so now we've got Fat Moo. Is Fat Moo not the worst hero anymore? Who knows? He has 40,000 attack, which is a lot. Hey, what's up, Dragon Sage? 424,000 HP, which is actually pretty low. But he does have... his ability does 162% damage against 3 random units and burns them. The initial burning is 96%. Reduced damage by 24% for 3 rounds. Now, I don't know. That's so weird how, like, that ability is worded. I assume they mean that the damage from the burn is reduced by 24%. But what I would like to see is that this reduces the damage of the person hitting him by 24%. And then maybe you could actually justify using Fat Moo as a tank. But in his current iteration, I still don't think it's enough. 40% attack. Each attack has a 50% chance to burn the target. and when taking damage has a 50% chance to burn the target for 40% for 2 rounds. He's a shitty Margaret. That's exactly what he is. He's like Margaret, but does his job worse. Just plain and simple. If you want a hero that works in this way, just get Margaret. Just get Margaret. He does have a binary name, though. It's pretty cool. Or a binary power, sorry. Now we have Gusta, who I wonder if has the same problem as Balrog or Fat Moo. 720,000 attack is a lot. 24,000 HP is pretty average. Changed my Twitch game. Oh, shit. Thank you. I did not notice that, actually. But yeah, I don't think his stats are like amazing. His face does look a little fucked up. He does 119% attack against backline enemies. 32% chance to stun them for 2 rounds, which is just too low. 20% chance to adding a round mark, which will cause 250% damage on the target, which the damage is great, but 20% attack? Wait, did I say that? Okay, he has 720,000 HP and 24,000 attack. But, yeah, this just everything that he does is just too low of a percent. He's not getting out what he needs quick enough. And like, consistently enough. It's just too low. Yeah, his HP is 720,000. His attack is 24,000. When taking crit damage, has a 100% chance to counter the stupid crit damage counter again, which just terrible. And when below 50% health, reduces damage by 45%, which is like, it's good, but unfortunately, it's just not enough. There's no way that this... Yeah, Bleaker might actually be better than Gusta, which is kind of stupid, and Bleaker's fucked. Yeah, okay, so ultimately, what it comes down to is that he has the worst HP for a tank at 24,000, and his attack, though, is 720,000, so he just one-shots everything, but he's too slow to attack, so even with 720,000 attack, he still fucking sucks. Anyway, Kareem. 440,000 damage, which is pretty good. Oh my god, I did it again! Ugh. I'm going through these heroes too fast. He has 440,000 HP. HP. Anyway, he has HP, 440,000 HP, and 43,000 damage. His ability does 270% attack damage against the enemy with the lowest HP, and absorbs the enemy's attack by 30% for 3 rounds, and then increases his own crit damage by 40%, which is amazing. It's a super high amount of damage. Like, they literally did everything they could to buff his damage, and they're kind of turning him into a goat. I mean, if you look at like these horns, they looked like demon horns before. Like, that was like, that's a horns of a demon. These are the horns of a goat. He has increases his attack by 35% and is a crit by 30. And whenever a hero dies, an enemy hero dies, he gains 30% extra attack. Yes, HP indeed. I do like the purple motif that his character has, but the horns look kind of stupid. I think that these like secondary protrusions coming off the horns don't need to exist. He does gain 30% of HP as a frontline unit now, though. As opposed to 15% attack and 30% crit damage in the backline. I think you have to run him frontline now. It's hard to tell if he still is too soft to really fit in with his DPS, because he wants to scale into the late game, but he doesn't really have the HP to do so. And I don't know if this really fixes that problem. It's hard to say for sure. But he does do a shitload of damage. And Dentalion, who didn't really change that much, actually. I don't find they changed Dentalion that much. They just made him a little redder. His sword looks even more awesome, though. I love his weapon. I've always been a big fan of Dentalion's sword. I love that weapon. 550,000 HP, 31,000 attack, and 2,900 armor. The armor is very high. The damage, his ability is 146% damage against all enemies and 140% extra against soldier types, Solider types. He has that Solider again. It's not sure why that Solider thing is coming up more than once. It's almost like they just copy and pasted it around. That's what's really strange about the way that these typos work, is that it's not just like an outlier and you get one example of it. When they do it, they have shit like this where it's Solider twice. Yeah, it does have an eye, and it blinks too. But yeah, increase the caster's damage avoidance. Like, it's so weird, such weird wording. I wish they didn't say, like, they didn't say stuff like this. But I still think that this is a pretty good buff for him. He has 80% extra armor, 25% extra attack, 50% against warriors. Warriors are in meta right now, so this is a pretty good bonus. As well as his self-heal is, they couldn't give it much. It's 36% as opposed to 30%. Or it might actually have been 35 at 9-star, I'm not sure. But they really did not increase it very much. So I just found that hilarious that they didn't really increase his self-heal by a lot, because increasing that self-heal, man, you got to be super careful with that, because that's what made him broken in the first place. I think he's still okay. I think he's better than most of the Abyss casts. He's still, I don't know if he's good enough to be a tank though, because you look at Queen and you look at Margaret, and I think they still do a better job. Oh yeah, like I said, Dragon Sage, I said that actually to Daily in the Discord, that the people who want to pay to win, they're not going to have full 10-star teams in a few hours. They'll have them now. They're already done. They don't even give a fuck. They'll just throw $20,000, $30,000 at this game. They don't give a fuck. They don't have to. They don't have to worry about stuff like that. And whenever you wonder why the devs have a hard time like making events that are balanced for all players, just remember that there's someone out there who's willing to throw $30,000 to $40,000 at this game, and they don't give a fuck. How can the devs really be blamed when there are people that are willing to spend this money? If nobody spent that kind of money on this game, the devs would never get away with charging that much. But because someone's out there buying it, the devs are going to take advantage of it, and that's just business. Anyway, Brea, who I actually think they made look a little worse. I don't like Brea. I don't like the way that they changed him. This shield looks really weird. The hammer looks really weird. And I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like this this overhaul of the way he looks. His HP is insane. 865,000 HP, 28,000 damage, and 2,100 armor. Pretty good all around. His ability is 168% damage against the front row enemies, which is not great, but it's still pretty strong. If the target's HP is lower than the caster's, then it causes an extra damage equal to 15% of the target's maximum HP, and increases the caster's crit damage by 1. Just 1. That has to be a typo. That has to be something wrong. Just 1 crit damage. That's it. You just get fucking 1. That can't be right. That's got to be a mistake. Yeah, Brea's still good for sure. They ran out of space. No, they can definitely have longer names than that. But it's still pretty funny. Oh man, you just give 1. You get 1 extra crit. That's it. 1 extra crit damage. No more, no less. If 1 equals 100, probably not. But his second ability is still the same. Skill attack and basic attack cannot be dodged. 100% chance to steal armor. Bunch of free stats. And at round 6, he just goes insane. So get out of the way. 1 out of 1. Then go buy a hooker. Alright, so on to Forest. And the first Forest is Demon Hunter, who I don't know. I don't really know if I really like this upgrade, honestly. Probably meant to be 100%, could be 100%, but it's currently just 1, so you just get 1. 1 extra crit damage. She has 465,000 HP, which is a lot. 25,000 damage, which is actually pretty low. Her ability is 105% against all enemies, 50% chance of preventing magic, and immune controlling. Now, that's a funny one. They make it so that heroes can't use abilities, but they also can't use immune control. Now, I'm curious as to the way that that actually works. Does that mean that there's like a split 50% chance to silence, as well as a 50% chance to prevent them from using crowd control? Or does it mean that they have, when they get hit by the silence, they also can't use crowd control that's built into their passives, like Arthendal or Field would have? It's probably the second one, but who's to know? Second ability is increases her crit by 30, crit damage by 120. Whenever an enemy hero dies, she gains a shitload of crit damage, and 3 random enemies for her basic attacks. Yeah, she does kind of look like Vayne. That's actually what I was thinking too. They're kind of making her... She's always kind of felt very similar to Vayne from League of Legends, but now she just 100% looks like her. Same thing, exactly. But I don't know. I don't think this is a very big buff. I don't think they actually had to buff her very much, because her silence is what's really doing the work. They're not gonna they're not gonna increase Sylvanas. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is exactly. Immune control. Oh wait, yeah, reducing immune controlling. That actually might mean that she's able to stun heroes that normally would not be able to be stunned, like Michelle, for example. This is really weirdly worded. We'll have to see in the next few days as they typo, like, correct this stuff. But it's hard to say. I don't think they really buffed her that much. They couldn't really, honestly. But that's fine. Dragon Slayer, who is the worst culprit of skipping leg day. Holy shit, look at that guy's upper body is like literally a triangle. He looks like he has like Brock Lesnar's torso placed on like a 5-year-old's legs. It's so stupid how this guy actually looks. What is with the design on this guy? It's madness. His HP is ridiculous. 939,000 HP. 939,000 HP. Just let that sit in on how much of a fucking HP wall this guy is. 17,000 attack, not that much. 23,000 or 2,300 armor is very high. His ability is 117% against all enemies and burns them. The burn does 50% extra damage each round. It gives him 20% extra attack, 20% crit for 3 rounds as well. Not really great. Peach, the fact that you have Soul Sealer Vayne, that's so infuriating. Yeah, you might have saw a 9-star Brea with this HP, but not without armor. This guy has no armor on. This is his base HP. When you give him armor and the tree for like the guild tree bonuses, he's gonna have close to 2 million HP. It's gonna be stupid, stupid, stupid. I'm actually a support main, but I do like to play ADC every now and then. His ability, 40% armor, 45% HP. Oh wait, no, 40% armor, 40% HP, 45% armor, sorry. Inspiration, whenever an ally crits, he gains a negligible amount of HP. And Zeal, his attacks reduce the target's armor and deals burn damage for 32% of his attack. His attack is so low that it really doesn't matter. Yeah, he does, exactly. He looks like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast mixed with a blood elf. Faceless. She finally actually has officially no face. You can't see it. There's no face. It's gone. It's disappeared. Her weapons look amazing. And her armor looks pretty cool too. but it's kind of still with that purple motif. I wish everything wasn't purple. HP is way too low. Yeah, my voice is kind of giving out, actually. I don't know if it's just because I've been talking really fast, or I've been talking like non-stop for an hour, 15 minutes, just constantly banging out words. I don't know what it is, but my my throat is kind of giving away on me. But yeah, she has 400,000 HP and 29,000 damage. It's like a purplish blue. It's really dark. Would you not say that that's kind of a purple? It's like a really dark color. Anyhow, her attack does 290% damage to the enemy with the lowest HP. If the enemy's a mage, it does extra bleed damage. Crit is increased by 30% and crit damage by 50%. And her weakest of the pack, Gray. I don't know. But god damn, does that ability suck. They need to take that ability and throw it in the garbage. And then each attack has a poison. She's still all over the place. She doesn't do anything right, honestly. They need to really give her a goal. They need to give her an objective and let her actually run with it, because right now she's just kind of doing nothing. And that's really unfortunate that she is like one of the most accessible assassins that sucks at being an assassin. Heh, Starlight, god damn, what did they do to you? Why? Why did they make your hair pink? I got my hair cut and she took my bangs and like stapled it to her forehead. Ugh, it sucks so much. I hate the way she looks now. 390,000 HP, which is really kind of low considering I think most heroes so far have had better HP. Her damage is 43,000, which is actually pretty high. Flash, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Her damage is pretty high, but her HP is pretty low. She wanted to be Link from LTTP, exactly. She stole Link's hair color. They didn't really change her outfit. Her outfit is pretty much the same. The only thing they really changed was her hair. It's kind of terrible. Her ability does 148% damage to back row enemies with a 35% chance of stunning rangers and a 50% chance of silencing mages. That's curious. She does look like a fortress hero, you're right. And that's very curious though, that her ability is now really good for stunning mages and rangers. But she's slow. She has that 1404 speed, which is pretty low. Hey, Dragon Sage, thank you for the 100 bits, man.
Viewers on Twitch and 100 plus viewers on YouTube. Must be bots. Kappa.
Must be bots. I botted my account. YouTube is going insane over there, actually. It's pretty crazy. There's 137 people watching on YouTube. It's awesome, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully this content has been at least a little bit useful and continues to be useful moving forward, and people will enjoy the video as well. She looks like Gardevoir from Pokemon, kind of. But yeah, her ability reduces her attack, reduces target's armor break. That's so specific. Her second passive increases crit by 30% and attack by 40%. And then her last ability is that heal. Whenever a unit dies, or enemy hero dies, she heals for 180% of her attack. She does have a lot of attack, so that is nice. But she just needs to be faster. She has the same problem that that Field has. Just needs to be faster. Needs to be faster. She is very anti-Shadow. That's true. She does kind of counter the Shadow faction, because most of them do have armor break, and most of them, a lot of the powerful ones are... No, that's not true, actually. Most of them are assassins. So it sucks that if this was assassin, if she stunned assassins, that would be awesome. But I don't know. I don't think that this actually helped her that much. I do like the more she stuns more people, but It's not enough. It's just not enough. Alright, so Gru. Now, Gru has 800,000 HP and 22,000 damage. 1,600 armor, which is kind of low, considering that he's insane. He's usually like an insanely high armor tank, but I guess the reduced damage by 26% that you get from this is amazing. Why is there a capital S there? Like Glue's tenacity, and it has a capital S. I don't know. Counterattack has a 40% attack. What? 40%? Really? That's how low that is. Holy shit, that is not great. I wish that was higher than 40%. I really do. But his ability, 185% damage against front row enemies, absorbs 35% of their armor, and recovers his HP by 75% of the caster's attack, or 70% of the caster's attack. But his attack is not that high. I don't know. I don't feel like Gru really got a bonus here. I don't really think that this is a big deal for him. Yeah, like, sorry, Amanda. I don't think that, I don't feel like Gru is really going to do what he needs to. He needs to be more tanky. And the 40, I wish, if this would be like even 65%, that would be awesome. Did I say 2,200 attack? I thought I said 22,000. Sorry if some of the numbers are a little bit butchered. They're all on screen, so you can definitely see what they are. But for 10 rounds? Wait. Recover HP by 70% of the caster's attack by 10. What does that still mean? Does that mean he gains like 17,000 in attack or 17,000 HP each round? Still seems pretty low. Still seems pretty low, honestly. I don't know. Malisa, who is the really, really ugly one of the bunch when it comes to this patch. Holy shit, does her character look like a mess. Purple on orange. Oh, what the fuck is this? Why purple on orange? And blue. Her shirt, her tank top, whatever the fuck that thing is blue. Purple, blue, and orange. Why? 450,000 HP, 34,000 attack. Pretty standard across the board there. She does 125% damage to 4 random enemies. Reduces their speed by 30, which is kind of awkward. And poisons them. Deals 55% extra damage for the poison. So, it's not bad, but I don't think it's that good. Yeah, blue, orange, and purple complement each other. Yeah, I'm sure they do, Jamie. This is clearly a complimentary outfit we have going on here. This is on any official server. All official servers have this. Her crit is plus 40, 30% attack. Each crit has a 100% chance to poison the target. Not bad. And her last one is that poison enemies take an additional 60% extra attack. Yeah, I'm complaining about the way they look because the 10-star heroes are supposed to look amazing. But holy shit, does this really, like, this is not a quality 10-star hero. I don't like her as a 9-star. I don't like her as a 10-star. Now she just kind of looks ugly as well. Like, I don't know. This is, why would you want to make this hero? What is the motivation for this? And Rosa, this is the opposite. This guy looks amazing. Look at all this white. This guy is as pure as it gets. This is like the quintessential priest, pretty much, with like this big ass clothing. He looks like level 90 priest from Maple Story. And they chose white, gold, and blue, which makes a lot more sense than this than this bullshit. Oh my god. But yeah, he looks awesome. He has 570,000 attack or HP. Fuck. 570,000 HP, 26,000 attack, and 1,500 armor. He does 95% damage to all enemies. Reduces the attack by 10%, which is kind of low. A 10% chance of adding a crit mark. 10%? Why is it 10%? That's so low. And then adds 20% attack to all allies. So that's pretty good. Everything is good here except that 10%. That's so low. Twitch chat, I swear to God, I hate you guys forever. But holy shit, is that 10% so irrelevant. 40% HP, pretty standard. Attack reduces all enemies' armor by 20% for 3 rounds, so that's pretty good, but pretty standard. And when he increased all allies' armor by 40% when his HP drops below 50, can only be triggered once. I don't think that this is like, it feels like some of these heroes that were already really strong as 9 stars kind of didn't get the same treatment as some of the weaker ones. So it does feel like they kind of used this to balance it out. We're going to have to see moving forward what this has actually done to the meta. But I feel like Rosa didn't get the same kind of buff as other heroes did. Don't mess with the Malice swag. Yeah, he's a glass cannon. Yeah, he's another glass cannon. Haha. Edgar, holy shit, look at this guy. He's like taking up all the space between the edge of the screen and the stat bar. Like, that's so savage. I don't know if Demon Hunter is greater than Rosa because they both really didn't get huge upgrades, so we'll have to see how that works out. But holy shit, is this guy gigantic. 540,000 HP and 24,000 damage. His ability is Edge Pressure. Deals 158% damage against 3 random units. Recovers his HP by 170% of his attack. And increases his crit by 70% for the next attack. Stop saying savage. Yeah, probably. I hate it. I hate having verbal crutches. I don't know when savage ended up in that list. But I will try to stop saying that because I hate having like those ticks, verbal ticks like that. Told you I was a bear. Thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. But yeah, he's his HP is ridiculous. Or no, his HP is standard. His HP is ridiculous if you include the HP that he gets from this here Brave Edgar. Yeah, what card does he transform into? Yeah, that's hard to say. He definitely could be a transformer. What was I? Yeah, I'm lost track here. Each attack grants self with 30% crit. There's no space between that. 15 speed and self for 75 or 70% attack, and heals himself for 70% of his attack. So he heals a nice bit, and he does good damage. But I don't know if it's gonna quite be enough. He has another one of those when below 30% HP gains attack and crit. But I hate that it's only 30%, so that's pretty low. Where are the horns coming from? Yeah, where are those horns coming from? Questionable at best. Oh shit. Well, fall time low. I mean, if I don't, it's a verbal problem. I can work on it, but that's all I can do. Dark Arthendal has 566,000 HP and 32,000 attack. Her ability does 90% attack, which is kind of low, and has a 30% chance of petrifying all units for 2 rounds. 30% chance of stealing 30 points of energy. Now that's weird. The stealing energy thing really hasn't been prominent except for with like Dark Spirit. I think he was really the only one that kind of did that. Adam, thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, I think Dark Spirit was like the only one who actually stole energy before. So that's cool that they're actually incorporating this into something else. But she has really high HP. 566,000 HP is very high for something like that, for a mage. Her speed is very good for a mage as well. and she has a 55% chance to petrify for 1 round. Stealing energy, that means that like if she hits somebody that has a full bar charge for their ability, she'll steal 30 of that away to give to herself, so they won't be able to use their ability, and she'll be able to use her ability faster, which is awesome. But yeah, fall time low, you guys, you have to watch out. You have to remember, you're in a chat full of trolls. Grey Eye steals energy? He might, but he's not really relevant, so it's easy to forget about him. The Black Hole ability gives her 100% spell damage, HP by 40, and speed by 60. And that's why, even though this only does 98%, it's actually closer to 200, which is awesome damage. 32% or 32,000 HP, or god damn it, 32,000 damage attack is not actually that high, but still with the extra bonus from the skill, it's pretty good. Whenever she goes below 30% health, her attack increases by 180% and decreases her armor by 48% for 3 rounds. So if she survives after going below 30% HP and happens to use one of her abilities, whew, she goes insane. It's ridiculous how much damage she will do. I swear to God, I wish there was a way that I could just mute all of you guys in the Twitch chat right now. There's literally 130 people in YouTube, and none of them are talking as much shit as you guys are right now. So, I guess that might be a compliment, depending on who you are, I guess. But, yeah, consider it. Consider it. Sleepless is 649,000 HP and 26,000 damage. So, he has insane HP. His damage is pretty good. We're just overachieving tonight. Yeah, you guys are really pushing the envelope here. Doing well. True savages. Emote only mode. I did not know that was a thing. That's awesome. Whoever did that. That's amazing. But anyway, Sleepless Steel does 124% damage against all enemies and adds a mark that will proc for 230% after 2 rounds. So that is insane. 30% chance to add an extra mark that will cause 150% damage. I don't know. This is what you wanted, kind of. I guess it doesn't really matter. I was just kidding, really, anyway, about the mute, but I'm pretty sure they won't even mind, because why not spam emotes? It's the same shit anyway. But yeah, he has a lot of damage in his kit, and they've increased this counterattack to 85%. Sleepless is amazing right now. Holy shit, is this Sleepless super strong. Super strong. Of course, he has attack as a 100% chance to proc a mark as well for 120% attack after 2 rounds, and has a 35% chance to petrify, and he just comes back to life. So, holy shit. That is just stupid strong, and not much more to say about that. Now, a funny thing, though, is that Dasmog actually has more HP than Sleepless. Dasmog has 662,000 HP, 34,000 attack, and 1,500. I brought this upon myself. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, his ability does 84% damage against all enemies and 36% extra for each round. If the target is a ranger, the damage is up to 72%, up by 72% each round, and 30% extra against rangers for 3 rounds. So it's a lot of damage against rangers. It's not that much in general, but the rest of his abilities really allow him to scale into it, is the crazy thing. Skill damage by 62%, attack by 30, HP by 30. Each attack gives him 15% extra attack and 15 speed for 3 rounds. Stupid. Each ally skill grants him 10% extra skill damage and energy too. This guy gets so much energy, a ton of energy. Like, he's going to be pumping out abilities at an insane rate, honestly. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing how much damage this guy is going to do, just because, one, his attacks are pretty strong with his abilities. Like he has a bunch of abilities that boost his attack. His base attack is pretty high, and he also boosts his skill damage. Does damage instantly and damage over time. But then on top of that, he also gains energy anytime an ally attacks. That's so much energy. So much energy. It's absolutely insane. And last but not least, we have the Light faction. And starting that off is Gurk. And Gurk has 548,000 HP. He has 37,000 attack. His ability does 108% damage against all enemies, and he restores HP to all of his allies for 180% of his attack, and increases their divine damage. Like, what? They added another fucking word to that. First, it was true damage. Then it was direct true damage. Then it was holy damage. And now it's divine damage. These guys really have no idea what they're going for when it comes to that name. What the fuck is it going to be called? Who knows? It's a fucking crapshoot. Call it whatever you want. Oh yeah, trust me, I completely get it. I do not expect to be coddled when I'm on the internet. I grew up on the internet. I know exactly how it works. But do not shit talk in my chat and not expect to get called out on it either. So that kind of works both ways, guys. Because I am a little bit more familiar with most of the people who are in the Twitch chat, so I can kind of fuck with you guys just as much as you guys can fuck with me. This is a double-edged sword you guys are playing with here. I don't know where the sausages thing has come from, but it's funny nonetheless. BR Stallings, thank you very much for the host, man, for the 4. I appreciate that. How was your stream? You don't know me. All right. 540,000 HP, 37,000 attack. He does that stupid nonsense with the divine damage. No idea what that really means anymore. Each attack heals himself for 95% of his attack, and his holy damage is increased by 54%. See, they even still call it holy damage here, and then here is divine damage. God only knows what that actually is. And he has the 35% chance to counterattack. If his counterattack was high, that would be ridiculous. That would be absolutely ridiculous. But luckily they only keep him at 35%. So, yeah. And Gurk's hand is a foot. Gurk's hand is definitely a foot. It's like a little healed boot or something. It's not... It's hilarious, actually, how ridiculous that looks. He looks like he's actually meant to have, like, his hands and feet swapped. Oh, it's just nonsense. I love the halo, though. The halo's pretty cool. And we have Asmodel with the crazy wings going on in the background. They didn't actually change him too much. His sword's a little different, and his helmet's a little different, but those wings. What a beautiful thing. 770,000 HP. Very high. 25,000 attack, though. That attack isn't that high. That's kind of surprising that his attack is that low, considering who he is. Pink Panther, thank you very much for the host. Appreciate that, guys. How's the stream, brother? Yeah, Asmodel might still be the best, but yeah, those arms are savage. I'm surprised Salvain didn't change his name to a troll named Savage. His ability deals 115% damage against all enemies, adds a crit mark that will cause 180% damage when triggered, 30% chance of adding an extra mark that causes 120% damage. It's hard to tell. There's so many numbers going on there that it's hard to tell if that makes him a lot better, but he's already ridiculous, so I don't think it really matters. 24% base crit, 36% holy damage, and 30% base HP. That's where all of his HP is coming from. Sacred Seal is pretty much the same, just more damage. Light Guardian's the same, just more damage. Pretty safe to say Asmodel might still be the best light hero, but I think that Michelle is also a candidate, especially if you have Flamestrike or Aiden, because Flamestrike and Aiden are already very powerful, but when you add in a reviving hero that has 680,000 HP, 26,000 attack, as well as the ability to revive. So she effectively has 1.3 million HP. And control immune by 100%. Cannot be stunned. Cannot be stunned. Impossible. Just laughs at your stuns. And that's pretty funny. The ability is still a shitload of words. 148% damage against 4 random enemies. 40% chance of stunning, which is beautiful. Recover HP equal to 400% of the attack to an ally with the least HP. And increases all allies' crits by 20. So it's starting to feel like Michelle might be a little bit better than Azmodel. I always thought that she was anyway, perhaps. Like, it's in certain conditions it could be that way. But I think that Michelle is really starting to take the cake on that one. Her wings are not quite as nice as Azmodel's, but they're both pretty good. Her second ability, Light Will, increases holy damage by 60 and attack by 30, speed by 40. She is insanely fast. And a skill has a... Oh, I've already looked at those, actually. So, holy shit. Full control immunity. Exactly. 100% control immunity. Cannot be stunned or confused, or cannot be stunned, silenced, petrified, or frozen. Of course, this is where Demon Hunter's ability starts to come in, though, right? Because that's where I think that this thing where it says 50% chance of preventing the target from using magic, as well as immune controlling. It prevents them from immune controlling. And because it's worded so weirdly, I don't know exactly what that means. But Thoradoran. But yeah, this is a really strange thing. Yeah, I am going to stop streaming there in a second. I don't know if there's too much more to go over. I did go over the events, and of course the fusion event is amazing. The value pack, that's only for people who are buying on the official server anyway. Hey Rory, thanks man, appreciate that. These items are awesome. Like, if you can manage to get these 3-star orange items, that's amazing. If you can manage to get these 4-star orange items, that's even more amazing. And of course, the exclusive orange artifacts. It feels like this is a really good way to boost through to the late game. And that's why you're looking at people like Shower and Finrod are going to just go crazy on their official servers and just buy out all the things and pretty much fuck everybody over. But that's the nature of the official server. If you don't like playing official server and having Lord Finrod and Shower just throw money at your face and say there's nothing you can do about it, then go to the private server. It's a much better place to play. But anyway, guys, I thank you very much for tuning in. My voice is pretty much shot, so I'm gonna call it there. I thank everyone for tuning in. The YouTube viewership has been ridiculous. 135 people over there right now. There was 150 at some point, so that's amazing. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and of course, thank you for trolling me, Twitch chat. I always appreciate it. End with sausage. I guess I'm not going to talk about the dev thing. I'll still make a video about that eventually. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great night.